Y'all ain't gonna believe what's happening right now in the rap game. I mean, this one's got everybody talking. Screens lit up, group chats blowing up, and the streets. Man, they're buzzing. Y'all seen that clip that leaked last week? Yeah, the one where Lil Durk pulled up and the whole vibe just flipped. Let me tell you what really went down, because what you saw online, that was just the surface. It was all love, all smiles, all the handshakes and bro, I got you, until one moment, one move changed everything. And I'm not talking about no social media stunt. I'm talking about loyalty tested, respect questioned, and relationships that were supposed to be unbreakable, shattered in front of everybody. Now, people gonna tell you this was a simple beef, just another rap game scuffle. But that ain't the full story. I got people close to the situation whispering things you won't read on TMZ. Things that make you stop and think about who really moves the game behind the cameras. And that's why this story is way deeper than it looks. It ain't just about Lil Durk or THF Bayzoo, it's about codes, power, ego, and what happens when money and fame meet streets that don't forgive mistakes. So lean in, because what I'm about to break down, it's raw, it's uncut, and it's gonna make y'all rethink everything y'all thought you knew. About loyalty and hip-hop, y'all ain't gonna believe this. But the street's been buzzing for weeks about Lil Durk and THF Bayzoo. And let me tell you, it ain't just a rap feud, it's something deeper. Something that cuts through loyalty and ego like a knife. It all started months ago, way before any leaked videos hit social media. Way before the arguments spilled out into stories that had the city talking. People close to the situation say it was all love at first. A bond built on mutual respect and shared grind. The kind of partnership that makes you think. These guys got each other's backs no matter what. But you know how the streets go. Nothing that seems solid can stay untouched for long. Durk and Bayzoo had been working together on projects that were supposed to change their careers forever. Studio sessions that lasted till sunrise. Late-night phone calls, brainstorming tracks that could break the charts. Friends say they were inseparable, to minds feeding off each other's energy. But as soon as money, clout, and public perception entered the equation, cracks started forming in ways people couldn't see at first. What seemed like small disagreements over features or credits turned into tension that simmered beneath the surface. Nobody wants to admit it, but the industry makes you pick sides fast. And when money is involved, loyalty gets tested harder than ever. Rumor has it, the first real spark came during a studio session in Chicago. Durk supposedly dropped a verse that referenced loyalty and street codes in a way that Bayzoo didn't take lightly. Insiders say Bayzoo laughed it off at first, but then started questioning the verse, asking why Durk would put certain lines out there without consulting him. "You said what?" "I told you about my respect," Bayzoo allegedly said, pacing the studio, voice tight with tension. Durk, calm but cutting, reportedly replied, "Nah, this ain't over, bro." The air in that studio shifted, and those present say you could feel the cold. Like something that had been warm and solid was now fragile. After that night, things started leaking. Snippets of conversations, offhand comments on social media. People claiming they were seeing tension in interviews or backstage at shows. Every clip that surfaced was dissected, analyzed, and spread like wildfire. Fans tried to read between the lines, speculating on who said what. Why Durk looked a certain way in pictures. Why Bayzoo seemed distant in videos. But here's what people don't understand. The story on the surface is just the surface. Beneath it, there's ego, fear, and money moving like currents under a calm lake. You only see the ripples, not the rocks underneath. Friends of both rappers say the tension wasn't just about music. There were personal stakes, family, trust, and street reputation. Bayzoo was known to protect his circle fiercely, and Durk has always had an eye on his brand, his legacy. When those two collide, it's not just a disagreement. It's a chess game where every move can be misinterpreted. One of the people close to the situation told me that Durk started questioning some of Bayzoo's decisions, wondering if loyalty was conditional. I've been holding it down, and now I gotta watch my back. Durk reportedly asked someone off record. The sentiment was clear. Loyalty can't just be a word. It's an action, a lifestyle. And once that's questioned, the foundation shakes. But even as things started spiraling, there were moments that looked like nothing was wrong. Clips of them joking on set, teasing each other on social media, and posting throwbacks to studio days gave the public a sense of calm, a false sense of security. It's that contrast that makes the whole story so wild. One moment they're cracking jokes. The next, they're in heated arguments that almost break the partnership completely. The psychology here is fascinating. Humans crave trust, yet pride and fear of losing control can sabotage even the strongest bonds. Durk and Bayzoo, both masters of their craft, were caught in that tension, balancing ego, ambition, and friendship in ways only insiders fully understand. The escalation really hit its stride when an argument leaked online. It was short, just a few seconds, but people replayed it 100 times. Durk's voice, calm but deadly serious, cutting through Bayzoo's defensive tone. "You don't get to question my respect, man." The tension was palpable. Bayzoo's reply, clipped and sharp. "We'll see where this goes," left fans speculating about threats, diss tracks, and even physical altercations. What nobody realized at the time is that this wasn't just about a single verse or a clip. It was about accumulated frustrations, unspoken slights, and the pressure of trying to succeed while keeping your circle intact. One of the most chilling aspects of this story is how quickly rumors became facts on social media. Screenshots, videos, and unnamed sources painted the situation as explosive, sometimes exaggerating details to make clicks. But anyone in the streets knows the truth is messier. It's slower, it's complicated, and it's layered with human emotion. Loyalty in the hood isn't just about sticking together. It's about understanding boundaries, respecting unspoken rules, and recognizing when ambition starts to overshadow the bond. Durk and Bayzoo were navigating that minefield in real time, and the public only got flashes of what was really happening behind closed doors. Amid all this, there were subtle moments that fans missed but insiders swear by. Durk checking in on Bayzoo during a chaotic studio night, offering advice about handling a promoter, a quick text that said, "I got you, but we gotta handle this right." Moments like that show the duality of the situation: care and caution, trust and suspicion, all at once. It's a human story wrapped in a street story, and that's why it resonates so deeply with people who follow hip-hop culture. But here's the thing that really set the stage for the turning point. Both of them knew the game had eyes everywhere. Every decision, every word, every social media post could be interpreted as disrespect. Insiders say Durk started pulling back, measuring every interaction, while Bayzoo's circle began buzzing with rumors of betrayal. That's when the psychological pressure really starts to manifest: paranoia, doubt, second-guessing, and the fear that one wrong move could undo years of work. This moment right here changed everything, one close friend of Durk told me. From that point, it wasn't just music. It was survival, respect, and legacy. What's clear is that the relationship between Lil Durk and THF Bayzoo wasn't just deteriorating because of a verse or a video. It was the slow burn of ambition, pride, and miscommunication combined with the unforgiving lens of the public. The tension was real, palpable, and unavoidable. And even though the surface looked like just another industry spat, anyone who knows the streets could feel that this story was way deeper than it looks. It's about loyalty tested under pressure, friendships strained by fame, and the way the human ego battles with the street code. As the pieces move closer to the breaking point, you start to understand that the next chapter isn't just about music. It's about who survives intact and who doesn't. This is where part 1 leaves off, right at the edge where loyalty is questioned. Respect is fragile, and both sides are watching each other like a chessboard. The streets are whispering, fans are speculating, and the full truth. It's about to get even messier. And if you thought you knew the story from clips or tweets, you ain't seen nothing yet. What's coming next is the escalation, the turning points, and the moments that nobody expected, where friendship and business collide in ways that are impossible to ignore. Picking up exactly where this tension leaves off the first real public signs of conflict. The arguments that couldn't be contained. And the moments that start showing everyone that this love, well, it might have already started to crack. After the initial sparks in the studio, things started moving fast, faster than anyone expected. Durk kept his cool in public, but insiders say, behind closed doors, conversations were tense, loaded with unspoken threats. The first real sign of escalation came during a video shoot in Chicago. Bayzoo arrived late, and according to sources, Durk had already been waiting hours, pacing, phone in hand, checking messages, watching the vibe shift. "You really think showing up like this is okay?" Durk reportedly asked when Bayzoo finally got there. The tone wasn't just annoyed, it was a challenge, a test of respect that neither could afford to fail. Bayzoo, shrugging, replied, "Don't act like I don't got my reasons." But the words didn't land lightly. The crew felt it. Even the cameraman noticed the tension, whispering behind the scenes, "Y'all see this? This ain't just small beef." Soon after, snippets of that shoot leaked online, a few seconds of them arguing. Eyes locked, subtle gestures that fans read like headlines. Every word, every glance, every laugh that wasn't quite right got analyzed. Insiders say that wasn't the first leak, but it was the one that set social media ablaze. Comments poured in, Durk going off on Bayzoo. They can't even be in the same room. And with each repost, the narrative grew louder than the reality. But here's what people don't understand. Social media doesn't show nuance. It doesn't show the late-night texts trying to mend fences, or the phone calls where Durk said, "I got you, but we gotta handle this right." All people saw was smoke, and where there's smoke, they assume fire. The real escalation, though, happened in private. Friends say there was a confrontation at a Midwest studio. A room filled with people who didn't want to be there but got pulled into the storm. Voices were raised, chairs moved, phones set aside. "You don't get to question my respect," Durk said. Repetition making it clear he wasn't bluffing. Bayzoo's eyes narrowed. A tight line across his face, and he answered, "We'll see where this goes." The phrase was innocent on the surface. But in that room, it sounded like a warning. A signal that things were about to turn personal. The energy was electric, fear, anger, pride, and loyalty all tangled together, vibrating through the walls. Emotional beats ran deep in this chapter. Both men had grown up in environments where respect was earned with sweat and street smarts. Where betrayal could cost you more than money, it could cost you your life. That history made every argument more dangerous, more charged. Insiders say Durk was wrestling with fear, worried that Bayzoo might side with someone else or that the circle could fracture. Bayzoo, on the other hand, was navigating ego and pride. Unwilling to appear weak or submissive in front of people he had been through hell with. The psychology of these clashes is fascinating. It's not just anger, survival instincts wrapped in ambition, experience, and street code. Then came the leaked messages. Screenshots surfaced showing heated text exchanges, where Durk questioned loyalty and Bayzoo fired back about respect and boundaries. "I've been riding with you since day one, but I can't let this slide," Durk wrote. "You talking about respect like it's negotiable?" Bayzoo replied. These texts spread like wildfire, and people started picking sides. Fans dissected every word, every punctuation mark, turning personal grievances into public spectacle. Insiders say neither party wanted it public. They were both trying to manage the narrative while protecting their brand. But the leak forced the story into the open. Amid all this, financial tension played a role too. Projects in the works suddenly became points of contention. Producers say money disagreements started creeping in, with disputes over percentages, credits, and publishing rights. Both men knew that business and loyalty are two sides of the same coin. And when one side feels shortchanged, the other can misinterpret it as disrespect. That's exactly what happened here. A simple misunderstanding about a split on a single track turned into months of suspicion. Fueled by outside voices and social media speculation, dialogue in these moments gives the story its life. "You think I ain't been putting in the work?" Bayzoo reportedly asked during one late-night call. "Nah, this ain't about work, it's about respect," Durk said, voice low but sharp. The conversation ended without resolution, and insiders say that was the point where things started spiraling uncontrollably. The foundation that had held their friendship together began to crumble, brick by brick, argument by argument. While the outside world only saw fragments, one of the most telling moments came during a private listening session. Both men were there, surrounded by their closest allies. A beat played the room quiet, except for murmurs about the track. Bayzoo reportedly smirked at a line, and Durk caught it. "You really laughing at me?" he asked, tension snapping. "Nah, just how it came out," Bayzoo said, but the damage was done. A room that should have been filled with creativity and collaboration felt like a courtroom, every glance a potential accusation. Insiders call that moment a turning point, the day the personal and professional lines blurred beyond repair. Fear and paranoia started creeping in next. Durk reportedly became more cautious, checking every text, reading every tone, measuring every word. Bayzoo did the same. Even allies and mutual friends felt the pressure, walking on eggshells, trying to mediate without getting burned themselves. The streets call this the silent war, when neither side makes a move. Yet tension exists in every room, every conversation. It's mentally exhausting, and by all accounts, it started affecting creativity, mood, and trust. The escalation also drew in external forces, industry figures. Other artists, promoters who started weighing in. Sometimes subtly, sometimes openly. Rumors of side deals, threats, and alliances circulated. Everyone had an opinion, everyone had a narrative, and both Durk and Bayzoo had to navigate it carefully. Insiders say Durk often paused before responding to any public message, considering the impact on loyalty, street credibility, and business. Bayzoo did the same, which only added to the tension when both sides are cautious. Every small interaction becomes a high-stakes game. Throughout all this, moments of reflection and regret appeared. Durk allegedly called a close friend late at night, saying, "I don't want to lose this, but I don't know if we can fix it." Bayzoo reportedly confided in a family member, worrying that pride might ruin everything they had built. These human moments show the duality of ambition and emotion, the pull between ego and love, between street code and friendship. It's messy and it's real, and it's exactly what makes this story resonate beyond headlines. The escalation had reached a point where public and private worlds collided. Leaked messages, studio tension, financial disputes, and psychological warfare had created a pressure cooker. The foundation of the friendship was strained to the breaking point, and anyone who watched closely could see the storm approaching. The stage was set for confrontation, for turning points that would redefine their relationship, and for moments that nobody outside their circle could fully comprehend. Up from here, right at the edge of that breaking point. It's where betrayal, anger, and emotion hit hardest. where decisions are made that can't be undone, and where the streets watch closely to see who will rise and who might fall. The drama isn't over. In fact, it's about to get darker, deeper. It's pricey and way more real. After weeks of tension, the situation between Durk and Bayzoo hit what insiders are calling the turning point. It wasn't a single fight or a leak. It was a series of small betrayals that stacked like dominoes until the weight became unbearable. One of the first sparks came during a private studio session in Detroit. According to sources, Durk was working on a track he thought Bayzoo would vibe with. But Bayzoo allegedly made comments that undermined Durk's ideas in front of the engineers and assistants. "You serious with this?" Bayzoo reportedly said, laughing under his breath. Durk, known for keeping his composure, felt the sting immediately. "Nah, this ain't just about jokes," Durk allegedly replied, voice low, tense, almost dangerous. The room went quiet. The shift in energy was subtle but felt by everyone present, a moment when respect wavered and mistrust seeped in. That same night, a heated exchange reportedly took place over text. Insiders claim the messages were blunt, raw, and dripping with anger. "You think you can play me like this?" Durk allegedly wrote. Bayzoo fired back, "I ain't playing nobody. I'm just real." The words sound simple, but in context, they were loaded with months of built-up frustration, pride, and fear. Friends say both men spent hours awake, rereading texts, analyzing tones, and imagining hidden meanings. The mental toll was immense, paranoia settling in like a shadow over every interaction. What makes this turning point chilling is betrayal. A missed call, a delayed response, even a laugh caught on camera, all were interpreted as signs that the bond was cracking. Insiders say Durk began second-guessing people in his circle, wondering who was aligned with Bayzoo, who was neutral, and who might exploit the situation. Bayzoo reportedly did the same. And the tension wasn't just between the two of them anymore. It started infecting the wider circle. The psychology here is brutal. Fear, pride, and mistrust create feedback loops that amplify every tiny slight into a major conflict. The streets started picking up on the shift too. Fans noticed subtle changes in social media posts, captions, emojis, likes, and interpreted them as signals of disloyalty. Screenshots circulated, people speculated about secret messages, and suddenly, everyone felt they were in on the story. Insiders say this added fuel to the fire because Durk and Bayzoo weren't just managing personal feelings anymore. They were navigating a public narrative that could affect careers, street credibility, and future collaborations. Every move had to be calculated. Then came the infamous incident that everyone whispers about, but no one fully confirms. According to multiple sources, a confrontation nearly turned physical during an after-hours studio meeting. Voices raised, hands gesturing, and a palpable threat of violence hung in the air. "I warned you about respect," Durk allegedly said, stepping closer. Bayzoo's response was equally sharp, eyes locked on Durk. "Don't come at me like that." Bro, the tension was so high that even the crew reportedly left the room, leaving just the two of them in what felt like a standoff. Nobody knows exactly what stopped it from boiling over. But people familiar with both artists say mutual history and unspoken street code prevented it from getting physical. Amid all this, emotional undercurrents ran deep. Both men were wrestling with loyalty, ego, family, and legacy. Durk, reflecting in private, reportedly said he feared losing not just a collaborator, but a brother. Bayzoo, confiding in close friends, expressed regret over pride getting in the way. These moments are what make the story human to men. Hardened by the streets and polished by fame, caught between emotion and ambition. Trying to navigate a landscape where every mistake is magnified. The psychological play was intense. Every word, glance, and post was analyzed. Insiders say Durk began carefully crafting public appearances, measuring jokes, teasing lines, and even altering lyrics to avoid provocation. Bayzoo did the same, choosing statements and actions that could reinforce loyalty while maintaining personal pride. The strategy was delicate. One misstep could undo months of effort. One misunderstood phrase could make fans or allies pick sides. Leaked audio clips added more layers to the story. Snippets of arguments, conversations, and debates about respect and loyalty circulated online. Fans dissected every second, forming narratives, making assumptions, and spreading theories. Insiders say the leaks weren't always accurate. Some were edited, others misinterpreted, but they amplified tension. The public was now a player in a game they didn't fully understand, influencing decisions and escalating conflict without even knowing. One of the pivotal moments came during a business meeting with producers and promoters. Both men were present, and the air was thick with unspoken issues. Someone reportedly suggested a collaboration that could fix the rift. Durk paused, then declined, saying something along the lines of, "We need clarity first." Bayzoo reportedly nodded, but left the room visibly frustrated. That meeting, simple as it seems, symbolized the turning point, a professional opportunity sacrificed because personal trust had deteriorated. Amid this chaos, reflection moments emerge. Durk reportedly spoke to a mentor late at night, saying, "I gotta protect my circle, my reputation. But I don't want to burn bridges." Bayzoo, in a similar reflection, reportedly said, "Pride can cost everything if you let it." These lines show the duality of the turning point, one where emotion and intellect collide, forcing decisions that are irreversible and shaping legacies in real time. By the end of the stage was set for aftermath. Trust had been compromised, ego and fear had run wild. And both sides were moving carefully, knowing that the next steps could define their future. Insiders say neither Durk nor Bayzoo had fully decided what to do next, but the tension had reached its peak. The situation had gone from disagreements to near confrontations, leaked arguments, and public speculation, leaving everyone watching, fans, friends, and industry figures wondering what would come next up at that point. Diving into aftermath, fallout, and the bigger picture. It's where consequences hit, where reflection and strategy collide, and where lessons about loyalty, respect, and survival emerge. The story isn't over. In fact, the most revealing moments are about to unfold. After the near confrontation and the leaks, the atmosphere around Durk and Bayzoo didn't calm down, it shifted. Insiders say both men became more guarded, measured, strategic. Durk reportedly started limiting interactions with people he thought might carry messages or stir drama, while Bayzoo did the same, creating almost invisible walls between them. The energy around their circle changed. Two friends who used to hang freely started tiptoeing, conscious that one misstep could reignite the fire. The streets call this the silent fallout, when nothing overt happens, but the tension is tangible. Professionally, projects stalled. Tracks that should have dropped months ago were postponed. Collaborations shelved, and social media announcements carefully filtered. Producers reportedly noticed the change immediately. The creative chemistry had fractured. Insiders say Durk was frustrated, not just by personal betrayal, but by the interruption of momentum he had built over years. Bayzoo, on his end, expressed disappointment about how pride and miscommunication had escalated matters. Realizing the fallout was bigger than just personal ego, it was impacting careers and legacies. Emotionally, both men were recalibrating. Durk confided to a close friend, "I gotta protect my circle, but it's heavy, you feel me? It's like every day I'm second-guessing." Bayzoo reportedly said something similar to his family. "Pride got in the way, and now it's messy. I don't want to burn bridges, but I ain't bending for disrespect either." These reflections reveal the human side of the story, the push and pull between ego, loyalty, and love, and the burden of navigating both personal relationships and public image. Public perception became a key battlefield. Fans dissected every post, every line and lyrics, every appearance. Rumors of alliances, secret meetings, and backstage confrontations flourished. Insiders say both Durk and Bayzoo had to fight for narrative control, carefully curating statements, choosing collaborations, and selectively responding to social media chatter. The game wasn't just street respect anymore. It was brand, career, longevity, and survival in an industry that thrives on drama. One of the most significant moments in the aftermath reportedly occurred at a private dinner, arranged to attempt reconciliation. According to sources, both men sat across from each other, tension thick, but a shared history palpable. Durk started cautiously. "Look, I don't want to fight, but respect matters." Bayzoo replied, "I feel you. But pride ain't easy to put down." The conversation didn't fully resolve the conflict, but insiders say it marked the beginning of understanding that total separation wasn't inevitable. The relationship was damaged but salvageable with careful handling. Financial and strategic considerations also influenced the aftermath. Insiders say both men began evaluating their business moves carefully. Contracts, features, publishing splits, and tours were scrutinized. Decisions were no longer just creative. They were survival tactics. Every move had potential consequences, both in street credibility and monetary terms. The balance between loyalty, pride, and business became the tightrope they had to walk. As the dust settled, patterns emerged. Durk reportedly focused on reinforcing loyalty within his immediate circle, rewarding those who stayed neutral or aligned with him, and distancing anyone who showed signs of opportunism. Bayzoo, meanwhile, concentrated on his own path, working with trusted collaborators and ensuring that he could maintain respect without unnecessary conflict. These strategic moves highlight an essential lesson in street psychology. Power isn't just physical or vocal. It's about influence, perception, and timing. Reflection became a constant undercurrent. Both men reportedly spent nights replaying past events, dissecting what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and how to avoid similar fallout in the future. Insiders say these moments shaped their approach to both personal and professional relationships, teaching lessons about humility, vigilance, and emotional intelligence in an environment where both can be rare commodities. The bigger picture is clear. This story is about more than two rappers. It's about loyalty, respect, ego, and the delicate balance of friendship and business in an environment where lines blur. It illustrates how quickly trust can erode, how minor actions can trigger major consequences, and how perception often outweighs reality. The saga between Durk and Bayzoo is a microcosm of the rap game itself, a world where emotion, strategy, and street code collide. The audience sees the full arc: foundation built on mutual respect, escalation fueled by ego and miscommunication, a turning point marked by near violence and public speculation, and an aftermath that demands reflection, strategy, and emotional recalibration. The story doesn't fully resolve. It's a living, breathing situation, continuing to influence both men's careers and the culture around them. The lesson is layered. Loyalty isn't just about friendship. It's about timing, respect, and understanding the consequences of your actions. Pride can protect, but it can also destroy. And in a world where every move is watched, both on the streets and online, managing perception is as crucial as managing reality. This is the part of hip-hop that rarely makes headlines, but shapes legacies in quiet, powerful ways. The saga also highlights a subtle truth. Even when conflict seems destructive, it can teach lessons about leadership, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. How Durk and Bayzoo navigate the aftermath will define not just their careers, but how the streets and the industry perceive loyalty. Respect and power in the years to come are close as the main body, setting the stage for reflection and dialogue. It's calm, thoughtful, but heavy with the weight of lessons learned. The story leaves the audience questioning loyalty, respect, and strategy in a world where lines blur between friend and foe. Business and personal life, emotion and ambition. So, after all that, what's the takeaway? The Durk and Bayzoo situation ain't just gossip or headlines. It's a deep lesson in loyalty, respect, and the heavy cost of pride. In the streets, in the studio, and online, every word, every action, every decision can ripple further than you imagine. What started as a bond built on trust and music turned into tension, misunderstandings, and public scrutiny. It shows how delicate relationships in hip-hop can be, and how even the strongest connections can fracture when ego and miscommunication creep in. But here's what people don't always see. This isn't just drama. It's about leadership, emotional intelligence, and the responsibility of influence. Both Durk and Bayzoo are navigating a world where loyalty is currency, where perception often outweighs reality, and where every move can impact careers and legacies. The story reminds us that respect isn't just demanded, it's earned, nurtured, and protected. It also reminds us that even in conflict, reflection and strategic thinking can turn tension into growth, lessons, and sometimes redemption. Now, it's over to y'all. What do you think about how this played out? Did Durk handle it right, or did he push too far? Was Bayzoo justified in standing his ground, or did pride get the better of him? The streets and the fans have their eyes on this, and the story is far from over. Your thoughts, perspectives, and insights matter. Drop them in the comments below, break it down, and let's have a real conversation about loyalty, respect, and strategy in hip-hop. And don't forget to subscribe, because the saga of Durk, Bayzoo, and the lessons it carries is just getting started. Trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next.